Hi, we're going to be looking at a couple of books. The first one is Beowulf by an unknown writer, written in anywhere between 900 and 1100 AD. In the It's written in Old English, so it's not quite English, but it's Old English. It is you can apprehend it with a little bit of care, a little bit of attention. This book stands at the head of English literature in that it's considered the first English epic. And even though it's not written in English, it's considered the first English epic, not true English. So it's Old English. When you look at it, as Heaney did, Heaney himself, accomplished poet, recognized poet, I'm very grateful. We're all very lucky to have Heaney, have Heaney translate this into a very good translation, probably the best that's been done. A few years ago, I had 5 translations, and I looked at a single line in all of them. And I found that line just before we started, and I thought Heaney's was the best. It's just a simple line, but it's really effective. In off the moors, down through the mistbands, God-cursed Grendel came greedily loping. Grendel is the monster, and Grendel in this epic attacks the mead hall, and he besieges it. He is offended by any merriment of men. He lays waste to the hall. Until a call goes up, and our hero Beowulf appears to fight Grendel. He bests Grendel. Well, maybe I shouldn't tell you the rest. If you've known the movies, there have been many movies made of this, including last one that was actually pretty good because Ray Winstone was in it, animated. And there are 2 parts to this, and this one with Grendel, and then later in life, Beowulf has to fight Grendel's mother. And you can read all of the chills and spills in this in English translation. Of course, you don't have to sit down and translate it, but worth it because it has been. When I read this, I realized why there's a lot of boasting goes on. Beowulf tells exactly how he will best Grendel the monster, and how he will lay waste to Grendel's mother. And he's brought to task for this. He said, "You're just a boaster. Listen to you. You're just boasting." And, I think of anybody doing the impossible, like sports figures, going up to fight an invincible foe will often boast. And I recognized in that this is Beowulf's and his men. The boasting that goes on is to prepare yourself to do the impossible. That's what so much of it is. Preparing yourself to do the impossible. It's not empty boasting. You are going to give your all, but you also have to fortify yourself. Anyway, Beowulf is well worth the effort. It will pay you back in dividends, in many ways, not the least of which will be giving you a heroic mentor to follow through in life. Keep an eye on your boasting. The second book comes directly out of the first, and I'm not going to look over Tolkien's Lord of the Rings and give you an exhaust. what I'm doing here is not exhaustive reviewing anyway. It's plucking books out of my library and commenting on them. Sometimes I have to refresh myself on what exactly, pronunciation or where it fits, what I had said about it earlier. But everyone, I assume you already know about this. What I want to do is link this back up to Beowulf, because if you didn't know it, Beowulf had a heavy influence on Tolkien. Why? Because Tolkien was a Beowulf scholar. He was an Old English scholar. So he got, if you read through Lord of the Rings, you see Middle Earth and ring bearers and what have you. All of that comes from Beowulf. So if you love Lord of the Rings and you've never read Beowulf, go read Beowulf. You will actually see, I see where he got this. I understand that, I can see the parallels. Tolkien himself is given credit for dragging the study of Beowulf away from minutia of vowels and consonants to the story itself, because it wasn't taken seriously as a story before Tolkien wrote a paper, which also you might want to read, called The Monster and the Critics, and where he said this story is valuable for its own sake. The narrative drive in this story is valuable for its own sake. We should look at this story as heroic just from the story itself. So he dragged it out of the den and the cave of scholars and put it before the public as a worthy story, one that can be read with delight and edification in its own right. So if you want to appreciate Tolkien more, seek out Beowulf.